Hi, it's Allie, and I'm here with the week 3 video wrap up. So, this week we're looking at how trauma and addiction is manifesting in the show we're studying, The Boys. And so, there's also a quiz that goes along with this week's lesson. And so, I want to say one thing about the quiz. The best score you can get until I come back and grade it is a 7 out of 10. There is a short answer question, and that is worth 3 points, but I have to manually grade each of them. So I'm trying to do it pretty fast as students hand them in. But if you get like a 5 or a 6 on this test, you haven't done terrible on the test at all. You just haven't had that 3 point answer graded yet. So I just want people to be aware of that. Um, Also, I hope that you're enjoying looking at the boys through a trauma informed lens. And I think I mentioned this on my intro video when I was trying to introduce myself to everyone. I am actually in graduate school right now studying art therapy. And so it's hard for me not to notice these kinds of implications that trauma might be having on the characters. And I really do hope you're finding this aspect of looking at the boys through a psychological lens a little bit interesting. And we are looking a little bit beyond trauma too. That's kind of the thing that I find most interesting. But with some of these characters, it might be other psychological aspects that you could look at. If any of this is interesting to you, we are starting to think about and work on our final papers, which are due in just like 2.5 weeks here. So if you want to look at any of these characters and look at the boys as a whole with a psychological lens, that is one aspect of inquiry that would work for final papers. So I'm just throwing that out there as we're studying. Also, we do have an episode to air, and I'm hoping that it lets kind of shines a light on this trauma, and that's the bloody doors off in season 2. So we've moved really fast through the series. We started in season 1 and the pilot episode, and we really focused on that for 2 full weeks, and now we're moving here to season 2, and next week we'll also stay in season 2 with episode 8. And these are both really interesting episodes. I'm hoping students who are new to the series will have a chance to catch up on the whole series. Throughout the semester, you might finish my class, focus on these episodes, and then rewatch the entire narrative arc of the show. Final week 5, I'm going to let students pick any episode they want from the season. So we will quickly get through the narrative arc of the show, but not as intense as you may feel like exploring it after your coursework is done. So I hope that this psychological lens has been interesting. Drop me a line, let me know in the quiz. If it is or isn't interesting, there'll be a space for you to let me know. And I think my little cat has been running around here in the background, but she ran off, or else I'd bring her on to say goodbye. So make sure to keep watching this episode to keep up with the readings, and any of those articles that you find interesting could work for your final paper as well. And I still have to get the adaptation assignments graded. I'll try to have those graded by the end of the weekend. And I still have to get articles up for weeks 4 and 5, and I'll try to get week 4's articles up here in the next day or two. So if anyone is hoping to jump ahead in our studies over the weekend, those will be available for you. Again, this week it's just the discussion forum and the quick 10-point quiz. Week 4, there'll only be the discussion forum, and in week 5, we'll have our discussion forum and the final paper. So once this quiz is done, the only other assignment other than those discussion forums will be the final paper, and that should allow you to have ample time to work on these. Thanks again for your attention. If you have any questions as you're finishing up week 3's work, just drop me an email.